Hello, I'm Dr. Krishan Chhabra and welcome to The True Colors in Life. I'm delighted and honored to have Swami Mukundananda Ji again with us today. In our last month's segment, Swami Ji spoke eloquently about the profound teachings from the Bhagavad Gita and how to implement them in our daily lives. We truly admire Swami Ji's immense knowledge, deep wisdom, and fascinating style of presentation. Swami Ji, namaskar. And on behalf of our viewers from the Washington Metropolitan Area, once again, thank you for your time and welcome to the Global Television Network.
Namaste, Dr. Krishan Chhabra Ji. My pleasure to join you again in your program, True Colors in Life, on the Global Television Network. Looking forward.
Thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, our topic today is about the 3 H's: hope, happiness, and harmony. And I would like to ask you some questions pertaining to this topic.
Most welcome.
Swamiji, the COVID-19 pandemic has created havoc and misery in the entire world for quite some time now. Millions of lives have been lost, families have been torn apart, and the economy has been shattered. And to add fuel to the fire, the recent war in Ukraine speaks of the inhuman and cruel treatment to our fellow human beings. Many people have lost faith in God, and they're saying, if God is so caring and merciful, why is He letting all this happen? How come the humanity has stooped so low? Swamiji, what can we do to restore the faith in God, and how can we maintain the faith in God going forward under such adverse circumstances?
Yes, Krishan Chhabra Ji, very often the circumstances confuse us. When you enter a dark room, you get blinded and cannot make out what's going on. And slowly the pupils get dilated. That's called the rhapsodin effect, when you can see much better. Likewise, rather than jumping to conclusions, we should step back and think. Maybe there's a divine plan behind the pain and misery. One grandmother was stitching a sweater, and the grandson came, "Nani, what are you doing?" She said, "I'm stitching a sweater for you, my child." So he said, "But it's looking so chaotic." She said, "Come and look at it from my side." When he saw it from above, there was a beautiful pattern that was getting created. So likewise, from our limited perspective, it may seem that the world is chaotic. But behind the chaos is the grand plan of God for the evolution of the souls over a continuum of lifetimes to the highest perfection.
Wow.
Just like Chhabra Ji, the caterpillar weaves a cocoon and hibernates inside it. And then when the time comes to emerge, it is to split that cocoon, rip it apart, and it becomes such a struggle. It may seem that the caterpillar has got stuck in, it is so miserable, and you may even be tempted to remove all its miseries by clipping away with a pair of scissors. But that will be a disservice to the caterpillar, that emerging butterfly, because the struggle forces it to press the fluid from its stomach into the wings. And without the struggle, the butterfly remains crippled. Likewise, when we experience hardships and difficulties, we start thinking that this is chaotic. We look for people who can snip away our difficulties without realizing it is in facing these challenges that we are forced to fill our spiritual wings for the supreme flight. Let's have faith in God's wisdom and His kindness and compassion.
Beautifully explained, Swamiji. somehow we just don't see the grand picture, what God has in store for us, and we just start to do that. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Swamiji, in your bestseller, 7 Mindsets for Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment, you have said, success in life means to be good, to do good, and to feel good. Swamiji, can you elaborate on this statement? And also, most of us have some idea as to what we should be doing. However, we lack the passion and the motivation. How can we create that spark in our lives and stay motivated and do what we should be doing?
Yes, definitely, Chhabra ji. Motivation is the motive for action. It is literally the energy that fuels us to great heroic actions and noble deeds. Now, this motivation which we want, it can either be external or it can be internal. When it is external, it is the outer rewards that are the means of our enthusiasm. People are praising me and hence I'm enthusiastic. But the downside is when people stop praising or they criticize, then my enthusiasm will wane. So my motivation, the key for it then lies on the outside. However, maturity means to try and ignite the inner motivation.
Wow.
And that key will always remain with us. So whenever we want, we turn it on. People say, Swamiji, I am getting demotivated about my spirituality. What do I do? I say, you can fix it in 1 minute flat. How do I do that? Bring the right knowledge to your intellect. Supposing you bring this knowledge, human life is precious, it's a golden chance I have, and it is also temporary, it's not going to last, so every moment is invaluable. I must put it to my best use. With this knowledge in the head, our mind will be filled with inspiration. That is the art of inner motivation, where with the help of good knowledge, you fill your mind with inspired and enthusiastic thoughts.
Beautifully explained, Swamiji. Thoughts, mind, really. Very well said, Swamiji. Swamiji, in your popular book titled The 7 Divine Laws to Awaken Your Best Self, you state that relationships are like a double-edged sword, and it is important to learn how to handle them effectively. Swamiji, we often see beautiful long-term family relationships destroyed in no time. What can we do to avoid such breakups and how to maintain harmonious relationships?
Well, Krishan Chhabra ji, relationships are such an integral aspect of our human experience because we are all social beings. And they are the cause of happiness, but more importantly, they are also the cause of unhappiness. The reason why relationships turn sour is expectations. This person should behave like this and that person should not behave like that. Now consider this scenario. There is a 3-year-old girl walking with her mother in a mall. And when you look at her, she smiles and looks to the left and the right with a beaming face. You think, oh, what a celestial angel she is. But then she sees something attractive and points to it, Mommy, I want this chocolate. Now if the mummy fulfills her desire, she continues to remain an angel. But in case mummy refuses, her whole form transforms and she starts stomping her feet, tugging at her mother's dress and creating such a ruckus that mummy thinks, why did I ever have a child? This transformation was because of her expectations. Now, it's okay for a 3-year-old, but the problem is we grow up physically and emotionally we still remain immature. For us, relationships is about fulfilling our selfish expectations. If we can learn to shed those and become a little selfless, try and understand the others, try and love them without seeking love in return, we will find that the relationships will be fulfilling for both sides. That is the little secret to have better relationships.
Nicely explained, Swamiji. Wonderful anecdote and a deep message. Swamiji, we are coming to an end of our segment. I would request you to face the camera and for about 30 seconds give our viewers the message of your choice.
Dr. Krishan Chhabra ji, you mentioned something from my book, which I would like to take up as my message for today.
Thank you.
We all want to feel good. And for that, we surround ourselves with luxuries and objects of pleasure, but those delights are short-lived, and then they are followed with more hankering and more desires. However, the way to be truly happy is first of all to try and be good. When we strive to be the best person we can be, and then beyond that to do good. When we see that the work we are doing is making a little difference in making this world a better place, in enhancing the lives of others, these two experiences are the way to find real inner fulfillment. And hence, the slogan of JKYog is you be good and do good to feel good.
Swamiji, the message is so short but very sublime and beautifully explained. Is the gist of life, how we can make our life better and meaningful in so many ways. Swamiji, on behalf of our viewers, once again, we sincerely thank you for sharing these gems of wisdom and your knowledge. And on a personal note, I am honored and grateful once again for this enlightening and inspirational experience.
Thank you, Dr. Krishan Chhabra ji. My pleasure to be with you in your program, True Colors in Life.
Thank you, Swami.
You can say that again.
I would like to thank the devoted host family, Gayatri ji and Nagaraj ji, wishing all of you a very happy 15th of August, India's 75th Independence Day. Until next month, Namaskar.
Namaste.